Welcome back, everybody, to the final episode of Final Fantasy II. It's Wolf of Fallen, and I decided I'm going to cheap out. I'm going to use the Blood Sword to end this game. You'll see why that's a cheap out in a minute, but I did my preliminary run to see how long it would take to actually beat the final boss, and it took almost 15 minutes just to beat him. So, I'm going to cheap out. When I first got here, I thought something had happened and I glitched out and I was a little pissed off, but apparently you just have to head north. Won't let you go too far. So here we are, the Emperor. He's one ugly son of a bitch. And you're about to see why the Blood Sword is a little too powerful. Normally beating him, you'd want to cast all your buffs. Yeah, frickin' 5600, holy cow. The only one going to be doing probably the most damage is Maria at, yeah, 2 hits and he's dead. That's how powerful the blood swords are. He has a tendency to heal himself every time he attacks you. So, it's a pain in the ass. And we have beaten him. Whatever. We're getting the hell out of here. We are magically at Finn, as Gus and Maria skip along. And here are all our friends. All our remaining friends. As you remember, quite a few of our allies were killed. That was a neat little skip you did there, Paul. Aw, don't go, Layla. Layla, you got me on the... Oh! This is Nellie, this is Joseph's daughters, if you remember. Joseph. And I guess she's adopted by Gordon and Helda, who I guess have become king and queen of the world, because I mean there's no other empire left in the world except those two. So yeah, so let's go live together happily ever after. Leon, you coming, buddy? Coming with your big shoulder pads? Well, so. But why not, buddy? Where you going? And of course, you just lets them go. Leave it on a little bit of a sad note, but oh well. As our old buddies who perished, Sid, Min, Richard, Joseph, appear in front of us once more. And everybody just kind of looks at each other like, huh? Did you see that? And apparently we are going to go be there for the world as Gus and Maria happily skip along. And the Empire War is over. People have not forgotten. And we're apparently children. And the soul of people who died, I guess, aren't forgotten. So, yeah. There we go. That's the end of Final Fantasy II. So, I guess I'll do my own little opinion on this game. I don't mind the game. It's not one of my favorites, and it's not one of the ones I'd really pick out of, you know, if I felt like playing. Yeah. So, story-wise, pretty deep for NES game. I mean, it had quite a bit of emotion, in quotes, if you will, for an NES game. Quite a bit of story as well in cutscenes compared to the first game where you had to talk to everybody, and this one they actually had automatic cutscenes happening. The story, you'll notice, is quite similar to Star Wars, if you will. I know I've mentioned that, but yeah, it's pretty close to Star Wars. The rebels and the Empire and blah 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 blah. The youths helping them, because technically Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, Leia were all like 17 to 25. Characters? Not bad characters, though the fact that you can level all your characters up doesn't mean any of them have any special abilities whatsoever, so they could all have the same magic. or usefulness or whatever. But the fact that they trade out the fourth character is pretty neat. So it got you to experience other people in your party, even though it didn't make you slightly change the way you play because each character was a bit different, but whatever. Battle mechanics, it was different. I think this is one of the reasons why people didn't like it, is because it's different, and everybody knows that people don't like things that are different. And I think that's why this game gets a lot of slack, is because it's different. One of my biggest myths about it, if you will, the fact that if you didn't just use your spells, you would never level them up. So, unless you're just wasting your spells using it for no reason, such as heal for one, I never would have gotten heal up to level 5 if I just used it to cure them every time they had a status anomaly. I wouldn't have been able to do it. One thing I would have done different is if I did it, I would have programmed it so that if you actually cured somebody with that status ailment, you would have got a much, much, much larger bonus going towards that, rather than the standard 2. I would have given like maybe 6 or 8 or something points if you actually cured something, and the more stronger the heal was, like say if you healed stone, you get a lot more points for that, but that's just me. As for updating the stats and everything, it's different. It gets rid of the traditional level up. That's one thing Square Enix is known for, is they like to try new things in terms of leveling up RPGs. And many people give them slack for that, but I mean, it's better than doing the same leveling up constantly. Just level up, level up, level up. The different growth systems are really enjoyable, and this one in the game I find is actually not that bad. It's actually quite enjoyable. The only problem is that the enemies are so weak on the world map through most of the game that by the time you get to the next dungeon or the next area, you'll really get your ass handed to you if you're not careful, so you really have to go in and out of dungeons. But I mean, it works. It keeps things balanced, so like your intelligence doesn't get too high because you're attacking so much, or your attack doesn't get too high when you use white magic. That's one thing I would have changed, is I would have made white soul never decreases. So I would have made something where soul decreased, but yet again, that's another thing in mind. Music, quite a few memorable tracks. I mean, the battle themes were all good. I don't think I've ever heard a bad battle theme in a Final Fantasy game. The Rebel theme is probably the most well-known. The Wild Roses theme, I guess it's called. A lot of the dungeon themes are kind of forgettable, but I don't think that's the music so much as I just don't want to remember those horrible, horrible places. So music's kind of 50-50. Some memorable, some not so memorable. The world itself, there's not a lot of history in the world itself like the first game had. In terms of towns, you really only focus on the few in the one area, like Finn, LT, Bask, and Salamando are the biggest one, and then you have the two little, what do you call them? Or the three little towns, the two port towns in Geta, so Por and Poft, I think it is. And those are your main towns, and those are pretty much, all those are, 4 of those are taken out near the end of the game where you can't go back to them, but the only other town in the world is Mysidia. Palamecia, you can go to it, but you can only go to the stadium. It would have been nicer if they had citizens there, so you get to learn a little more about Palamecia, but you really don't delve into the emperors or the empire's history very much as to why he's doing it or anything like that. Telling by the emperor's flamboyant personality, I'm guessing he's very vain and power hungry. Other thing I didn't really care for the world map is that it was connected, so you couldn't just sail around the world. You had to go left or right. You couldn't just go in one direction and get to a point. You had to navigate through a bunch of twists and turns. Let's see, music, graphics, not bad. I guess they work. They're a big improvement for the first game, but some elements, well, actually no, they were a large improvement from the first game, so can't really complain about the graphics. Most of my problems come from the speed of the game, and it's really, really slow, but oh well, not much you can do about that. It's an older game, and everybody knows, well, I guess I'll talk about the battle system itself. It's, like I said, really slow, and the auto-targeting's not there in the original, but oh well, it's starting out, they were trying. I think that's probably why it didn't come to the States. It would have been too much a pain in the ass for American audiences. Too slow of a rate for leveling up systems, but they quickened all that. It would have been a great game. Great game. Overall, the game's probably my lowest Final Fantasy that I would ever consider playing. I'm not going to say I hate the game or I don't like a Final Fantasy game. I'm not going to say I don't like any game, to be honest. I play it, I enjoy it. I don't hate a game, I don't like a game, I enjoy it. It's just whether or not I enjoy this game enough to play it before another game. And to be honest, no. Out of the Final Fantasy series, this would probably be the one I'd 1, 2, and 3 would probably be my least choice for playing. So, but this does not mean you shouldn't play it. Like I said, I don't know if I ever said this, but when I originally got this, I got it, I downloaded it off of the ROM, the translation, and I played it. I got close to the end, but I couldn't finish it, and this was back in the day before GameFAQs or Game FAQs was around, so I had to figure everything out myself. And the fact that it didn't really tell you very much where to go, you got really, really lost sometimes. But the other thing I really didn't care for in the world was many of the dungeons are very, very maze-like, and without a map, they can be quite troublesome, like those trapdoors, or that have the high encounter rate. It's good for leveling up, but god, it can be annoying. So, I've rambled on enough. I think this is about all I really need to say about the game. So, this is the end. As you can see, we've been staring at the ending screen with the goal. You'll notice that there was no orbs or crystals in this game. This is about the closest thing you get. So, like I said, I think people didn't care for the game so much because it was radically different from the first one. So I'm going to end it on that note. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this LP to go out and try this game on your own. It's a really good game if you like RPGs. I think it is a really enjoyable game for an RPG fan, and you should try it. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye.